Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Didn't really want to do this video this late, but I don't think I'm going to be waking up early tomorrow. If I do, then I don't think I'm going to do a video for a minute. But the Lakers beat the Wolves and beat them up bad. And at one point, I think it was almost a 40-point lead in the third quarter when Anthony Edwards went out, I think with a calf injury. And, whoo, man, where's Bronny James when you need him? Where is Bronny James? Although he did come in cleanup time when they were getting trashed, the Lakers. And it was like in 1 minute or something like that, he bricked it. 0 for 2 from the field. Let me see if he shot another one, because I turned the game off a little bit premature. I didn't even, Dalton Connect was in this game? Where was that? But Bronny had the nerve to shoot 2 threes. Two threes. And go 0 for 2 from the 3 in like 1 minute. I'm talking about this dude is so desperate to get on the ball. Like, wow, at least drive it to the hole. You're about horrible as your father. And let's look at this real quick. Randall, he had, let me see if, no, it ain't gonna get no lighter. Randall, I think he had 16 points. Julius Randle, McDaniels, I think this is 25 points. Anthony Edwards, he was busting their ass. I think he only had 22 points. Yeah, he had 22 points. They kept their turnovers low, except for who is this that had all these turnovers? Oh, Julius Randle had a whole bunch of turnovers. He had 7 turnovers. Anthony Edwards, 8 for 22 from the field. Really didn't, have a good shooting game overall, but he was hot from 3. It was just a group effort. Rudy Gobert only had 2 points. Wow. And they didn't need Rudy Gobert a lot of this game. If I just remember, he played 24 minutes. But, I mean, he made a good block on LeBron James. They were just blocking this dude up and down the court. Nobody's scared of this guy. So, in the whole start lineup, they really didn't have too many turnovers except for Julius Randle. Let's see here. You had Naz Reid. Did he come off the bench? I thought he started for some reason. Naz Reid went the hell off on them. And Naz Reid went 8 for 12 from the field and was busting their butt. 6 for 9 from the 3. 23 points. I mean, this dude was unstoppable. Before we analyze this thing, I just want to go over a couple of stats. I'm not a big stat guy. LeBron James it looks like he was 8 for 18 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. They kept him off the line, 2 for 2. LeBron James was a minus 22. Let's see, had 4 turnovers, 19 points. I thought Hayes was going to play a big factor in this game, but Rudy Gobert really didn't play that much in this game, so Hayes wasn't a big factor. Luka Doncic, he was minus 12. LeBron was minus 22. A lot of when you're getting beat up like this, you're always going to be in the minus. So plus minus really didn't mean nothing to us old school guys until they start talking about plus minus in this game. But usually you're going to be in the minus unless you either didn't play a lot or you were consistent. You had good steals, good blocks. You didn't turn over the ball a lot. That's the only way you're going to avoid being a minus when you lose. Luka, 37 points. Reeves, 16. Let's see here. Luka, 12 for 22. I thought he was going to take 30 shots by the way he was shooting in the first quarter. What's this? 5 for 10 from the 3. This guy was launching threes like it was nobody's business. And like I said, I thought Luka was going to be, I thought he was going to shoot 30 shots, but he didn't. I think this thing just cut me off. So let me see where I was. Did I go over Reeves? So Reeves, I don't think he had a good game. He was 3 for 8 from the 3-point line and 5 for 13 overall from the field. He only scored 16 points. The bench really didn't get the Lakers nothing. The Wolves, if I'm not mistaken, shot 50% from the field. From the 3-point line, and 51% from the field. And the Lakers shot 38% from the field. Period. So let's get into this. Let's really get into the game. The Lakers got exposed on defense. It looked like they might not even win this series. Okay, so the Timberwolves are just a younger, I won't say younger, but they're just a younger, more athletic team than the Lakers. the Lakers, if they don't hit these 3-point shots and wide open 3-point shots, they don't stand a chance in this series right here. LeBron James was getting blocked up and down the court. What it is, the Lakers came out and tried to scare the Timberwolves, and they tried to play their game. And the Timberwolves said, we're not scared. It looks like, the same thing they did last year. They went to Denver. They put it on the Denver Nuggets. And Nuggets actually tried to come back in that series, end up losing. But we'll see, man. They really got exposed on defense. They really don't have good defenders. Rudy Gobert really, I thought Jackson Hayes would be a factor in this game. But Rudy Gobert, he didn't play much in this game. I was surprised he played that many minutes as he did because I didn't really see him in this game. Yeah, I seen him flash his hair in there when he blocked LeBron James' shot, but I thought he didn't play that much in the first half. And they look like they can play small ball without him. They don't have no answer for Naz Reid. They're not going to get bullied because really they can't bully this team. And if LeBron James is going to be the number 2, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. They're not scared of LeBron James. I don't know what to say about this game. I was shocked. They had like a 30-something point lead at one time. And when Anthony Edwards went down, I was like, oof. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll be shocked if Austin Reeves continues to play like he played. But then again, the Timberwolves are athletic. They're not scared of these guys. Truthfully, all the Lakers really have on these guys is the Lakers flailing and pump faking and stuff like that. Other than that, these guys on the Timberwolves, they're more athletic. As long as they play together and they hit shots, they can beat the Lakers. And I don't mean to go back on my pick. I'm gonna go with the Lakers still because you got to go down with the ship. You know what I'm saying? But there's a chance that they can, beat the Lakers 4-2 in this series. There's a chance that they play like they played tonight. They can beat the Lakers 4-2. They're just gonna have to play their game that they played tonight, and get past a lot of crying and flopping and flailing that the Lakers are gonna do, because that's what they're gonna do. They don't play like men. You got 3 guys on one team crying, flopping, flailing, and doing all this stuff. Is this really that good for the league? You put 3 guys on the same team flopping, flailing, and crying every time they take a shot. Like, they deserve a foul every time they shoot. So if they deserve a foul every time they shoot, well, nope. Then everybody else deserves a foul every time they shoot. There's going to be, you're going to get bumped. You're going to get, somebody hit you on the hand when you shoot. The hand is part of the ball, okay? That's just how it is. It's part of the ball, especially once the ball gets released and your hand gets hit. Part of the ball. I don't know what else to say. They want it all, man. If you want to give that same respect to the Lakers, you got to give that same respect to, other guys playing their opponents and stuff like that, because to me, that's not fair. And what it's showing in this era, you really don't need a big man. You see Anthony Davis out. A lot of these teams, a great big man. You don't need a great center to win in this era. The Clippers almost pulled it off. It almost beat Joker, but I don't know if this was like a fluke game for the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's hard to determine one game in the playoffs. It's really hard to jump to conclusions. That's what they'll do Monday on these debate shows and stuff like that, because that's what they get paid for, to really jump to conclusions and stuff like that. Some teams, they'll burn it up in the first game, and then the next game they'll suck it up in the next game. You know what I'm saying? So you just don't know what you're gonna get. Like I said, to me, it seems like they weren't intimidated of the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like when they played the Suns, they weren't intimidated to play the Suns. Minnesota wasn't last year. When they played, Denver, they wasn't intimidated. So, much respect to Anthony Edwards. He did his thing. He didn't try to shoot a million threes. I don't know how many threes he shot, but it didn't seem like he just opened the game and he was trying to shoot a million threes. It didn't seem like he was trying to get his team involved, and they were passing the ball around, and, they were executing. I mean, what can you say, man? Everybody was blowed in that first half, and up to the third quarter, they could have ran them off the court by 40 points if Anthony Edwards would not have got hurt. Not that Anthony Edwards was really killing them. It was just the fact that you had another guy on the team with athleticism. They seem to be stunned against athletic teams. So, this could go any way for me now, because, they came out and they impressed me and stuff like that. They took the blow at the beginning of the game. The Lakers came out, just kicked down the door on them, and I was like, oh crap. And then they just came back after that, and they, this is a problem with Luka Doncic. And we saw in the series when they played the Celtics, when you have great athletes, like what was it? Is it Jaylen Brown? I think Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday. It kind of takes something away from Luka. It takes something to get away from him. Even Kyrie, you know, as great as he is athletically, it took something away from him. So Luka is going to get his points. He's a great scorer and stuff like that. But but he's a liability on defense. LeBron James, yes, he got that chase down block, got a block underneath the rim and stuff like that. But you know, on ball defense and you know, a lot of times help defense, him leaving people open and stuff like that. He's a big liability. He's 40 years old. He's going to get the excuse. And then you got Reeves. He's a liability on defense. So you just got three offensive-minded guys who can't play defense on the court at all times. You know, Luka is going to take an offensive foul before he even plays defense. We've seen that a couple times tonight and stuff like that. So I don't know what you take out of this game. The only thing I'm going to take out of this game is that the Lakers are basically in trouble because they got exposed. They got exposed that, you know, the Timberwolves are more athletic. They're not scared of the Lakers. They can hit down shots. They executed as far as passing the ball around, and they're just not, and they can play defense on top of that. That's the biggest thing is they can play defense without Rudy Gobert really, you know, being a, you know, great defensive threat or nothing like that. He can play defense. I ain't trying to say he can't play defense, but you know, he's no Akeem Olajuwon or Patrick Ewing or David Robinson or nothing like that. You know, you can look at Doncic is taking them to the hole, but as a whole, these guys play defense. And, you know, that's something that the Lakers don't have. They don't have offense and defense, you know. So when their offense is going bad, they're in trouble. So I really don't want to talk about the New York game. It looked like they were going to lose for a minute and they were going to be a disgrace, but they went on the run and woke up and realized they were playing the Pistons. I mean, come on. But we do got to realize that, you know, the Knicks, they're not a real good defensive team. They brought over Karl Anthony Towns for more offense because Jalen Brunson didn't have enough offense on that team. And, you know, Julius Randle was always hurt. So they didn't have enough offense on that team. They didn't bring him over for defense. So, you know, they got some scrappy guys that play defense on that team. But later on, they might get exposed because Jalen Brunson can't play no defense, really. And then you got, you know, Karl Anthony Towns. He's not a showstopper on defense. So they might get exposed in the long run. That's what I'm going to say about that. You know, luckily they made that run. I got them winning that series, like I said. So you guys tell me what you think.